Okay, so we've got the basic shape of our mountain here. And we're going to take our 2-inch brush. We're going to load it up with that color. And we're going to come up here. And we're just going to pull that down. Come right up to the edge and just pull it down. And you can kind of start to make some indications of some shadows and some different deals in there. With this acrylic paint, you'll find that sometimes you may have to wait a little bit and let some of that color dry before you can layer over the top of it. I'm gonna get in here and get a little bit of yellow and white and pull it over here and mix it in with that brown. And let's see. Oh yeah, that's perfect. We're gonna pull it down just like that. You know what? What the heck? Let's use our knife. We're gonna roll some of that color onto the edge of our knife just like that. And then we're gonna pull that down. See that marbling effect on there? That's what we want. That's just right. That gives the illusion of rocks and cliffs and different things on our mountain. A little more of that color. Down just like that. Knife works well to really define that top edge. If there's something you're not liking about it, just change it. Easy as that. Kind of like life, you know. If things aren't going your way, you're not liking maybe some things that are going on with some friends or some family. Maybe you're not hanging around with the best people and you're not liking the things that are going on. Sometimes we just have to make a little change. Maybe that change starts in us. We're going to pull that down. Some more of that color. We want to have the illusion of some misty area down here. We don't want a lot of definition because this is far off in the distance. So we shouldn't be able to really see or tell what's going on. Now, let's see. We're going to take another 2-inch brush, get into a little more of that white, and a little bit of our color that we use just to darken it, or lighten it up a little bit. We don't want to be totally white. We're going to come in here and just 3 hairs and some air. Just really lightly come across that. Now we're just going to come up, just kind of blend the bottom of that mountain into that misty area. Just like that. Okay. Now, there it is. Little 1.5-inch brush. We're going to try that. Let's make some little foothills. So these are going to be, every time we move forward, we're going to have a little more detail, a little more color. So that color we used before, this lighter color, we can maybe go just a hair darker than that. We're going to come in here and we're just going to start putting in some foothills. We're going to have a little more color, a little darker than that. Let's pull in a little green. And your colors may be totally different than mine, and that's just fine. I would hope for that. So the idea here is we create these foothills off in the distance. That should look like pine trees out there. We're just gonna throw those in wherever we want. This is our world. We can make it however we want. As many trees or as little trees as we want. Takes a little bit of time, especially with acrylic paint. Got to be careful, because if you're not careful, you'll just end up blending a lot of your colors together. So just take your time, get your color on there, and it's going to be just perfect. Okay. Mix up a little more of that same color for our hills, and let's come over here. Create some more. That one's gonna come over like that. Remember, there are no mistakes in painting, only happy accidents. A little more of that darker color mixed up here. Burnt umber, or brown, or black, and our green. Mixes up for a nice greenish gray color. That's a little too gray. Put a little more green. And your trees may be pink, and that's fine. Might be like one of those Chinese paintings you see, the Chinese restaurant, those sceneries. Pinks and purples and blues. Pull that up just a little bit. Not too much. We don't want to blend it too much. Okay. Now, we're going to take our another 2-inch brush. We're going to get into that lighter green color. We're just going to kind of fill in. Lose my easel. Okay. Take your time. Fill that in. That little hill's coming right down like there. That one's coming this way. Okay. Sometimes you might have to step back and look at it and think, where was I going with that? And that's okay. In fact, you might look at your painting you did the day before and want to make some changes to it. And that's okay too. There's no wrong way to paint. I just hope that I can give you some tips and help you, give you some direction, and help you find joy in paint, like I do. Okay. We have to make some decisions here. We're gonna have a darker color. We're gonna come out from here. And this is gonna be like a cliff. Kind of a higher area that we can stand on. We're looking out across this. So we're gonna build that cliff. Big old rock standing up there. That's some ground that we can work from. Well, what the heck, let's bring it right over to that corner. Just like it. Now, we're gonna take a brush that we were doing our sky color with. We're gonna get into some white, back into some of that blue, a little lighter than that sky color down here on our. We're gonna pull that down, and you can see that gives the appearance of a reflection in that water. And some of this isn't going to matter because you'll see we're going to have other layers that may come in to play. So don't worry if you don't like the shape of your water or something doesn't look quite right. Give it some time, and you might have another happy little accident that just happens to fix the thing that you don't quite like about it. Excuse me. Okay. Before we get too far here, I want to take my little fan brush and I'm going to get back into that dark green color, get some more of that brown, some of that black. We're going to come up here. We're just going to put in some more trees. And if you're having trouble getting your paint to show up over your wet paint, you may have to wait and let that dry. But for the sake of our video here, I'm gonna throw some darker paint on so that you can see how I'm laying that in there. Very simple. We'll go back to our lighter green and we can kind of soften up those dark trees. And we can have black trees if we want. We can have yellow trees, green trees. We can have whatever kind of trees we want. Oop, don't do that. Let's blend in too much. Okay.